All right, well, right now, as you can see, I'm in the pool. I'm doing this video in the pool. First ever pool video, by the way. Celtics just made a big trade. Once again, the second time in the last 24 hours where the Celtics have made a big trade. Kristaps Porzingis is going to Atlanta. Terrence Mann and the 22nd pick in this year's draft is going to Brooklyn. And George Niang and a second-round pick is going to the Celtics. This means that the Celtics are now out of that second apron. The mission has been accomplished for the Celtics to get out of that second apron. They will now have a mid-level exception in free agency to get a player. And I think this can basically shut down the news of JB and Derek White. In trade rumors, I think that is now dead. I'm kind of shocked that Hauser's not in a deal right now. Like, he's still sticking around at least. I still think he might be a possibility to be traded still. We'll have to wait and see on that, but the Celtics have already had the mission accomplished, getting under that second apron, and it looks like Anthony Simons is going to be sticking around with his squad, it looks like. Huge shout out to Brooklyn, by the way, for helping us once again, getting under the second apron and everything else. So Brooklyn always helping us out, it seems like. Niang, not really going to get too much in the numbers there with George Niang. Not really a big fan of him, obviously, but after JB's situation with him from Game 7 a few years ago, was there for that game, and looking back at it, saw how JB reacted to him. I wonder if they reroute him. I don't know if they reroute him, but, like, he's an expiring deal, so, like, that really doesn't matter for the most part. KP. Having myself a little after-work beverage right now. Huge thank you to KP for, just like Drew Holiday, for Banner 18, for being a part of the historic season last year. I got to meet KP once. I have a famous clip with KP, meeting him when he first got here. I'll play it right now. How's it going? Very good, very good.
You guys can come up here.
What's going to be different between playing for your last two teams that you're going to win a ring this year?
I agree. I believe so. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you, man.
It's a sad day to see Kristaps go. I mean, I really loved Kristaps Porzingis. He was made for the city of Boston. He was a Bostonian. Like, you can tell with the way he acted and, like, how much he loved the city and everything else like that, that he really loved being here and, like, he loved playing for the Celtics, and he embraced himself in that Celtics nation, that history and everything else. It just sucks, man, because if KP didn't have that mysterious illness and he didn't play as bad as he did this postseason, I think he'd still be here. I think he'd be one of those guys where you look at and you say, do you trade him or not? You get what I'm saying? Like, he would have had a bigger question, but he kind of played himself out of Boston. I've already said this time and time again with the way he played last year. In the playoffs, he's just not reliable in the court, unfortunately. Huge pickup for Atlanta if they can get him healthy and keep him on the court and everything else like that. Huge pickup for them. I think this also goes safe to say that the Celtics are going to be drafting big. Don't know if this means Al Horford's coming back or not. If I am predicting right now how this is going to play out, getting phone calls again, and right now I'm getting spammed again. Here we can go again. Round 2 of this shit. They're going to be drafting a center. I think that basically goes safe to say right now that they're going to be drafting a center. We'll wait and see if they try to move up in this draft. I wonder if Hauser will be played in factor for them maybe moving up in tomorrow's draft. I could see that being a possibility. So we're going to have to wait and see what the draft's going to be like. I might go live tomorrow for the NBA draft. It's going to be a big day for the Celtics there because they need to draft somebody decent. They need to draft somebody really good in order for them to fill that void. I mean, KP, when he's healthy, is an absolute unicorn. We know this. And I'll never forget that Game 1 of the NBA Finals. I should have spoke a lot more about Drew Holiday last night in last night's video. With him, I'll never forget the steal in Indiana. I'll never forget Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. His best game as a Celtic. I'll also never forget Game 2 of the NBA Finals. That was probably his second best game as a Celtic. He really stepped us for us in our championship last year. And I'm going to miss both of them. I'm really going to miss both of them. And those are two givens, though, right? Those are two players that were kind of given to be gone with the cap situation that the Celtics were in and everything else like that. And we'll see what the Celtics do for moves. They can now add, thankfully. They can now add some pieces to this team as they're going to be looking to retool. And I think it's safe to say, too, that JB and D. White are going to be sticking around. Celtics did what they were going to do, that we all expected them to do. They got under that second apron, and that is a huge step in the right direction for the Celtics team. The way I look at this return is this. Yeah, the return, what we actually got in return, don't like it, obviously. Not a great return, that's for sure. But the way I look at it is this. The Celtics in return got $20 million off their books. And Derek White and Jaylen Brown are here to stay. That's how I'm looking at this. That's how I'm looking at this move, and I'll take that all day long. As the penalties will reset when Tatum comes back. Not this upcoming season, but the next upcoming season, 2026, 2027. Salary cap will go up, obviously. So that's when they're going to revisit all this window here for them to get back in the NBA Finals. Again, sad day to be a Celtics fan, obviously, because we all love KP. He was a fan favorite. I grew to love him on this team. Again, that interaction that I had with KP, I'll never, ever forget that. That was one of the best interactions I've had, like at one of those meet and greets that I've been to. And it's just sad to see him go, man. It's just sad to see him go. Hopefully he does well in Atlanta. Thank you for embodying what it means to be a Celtic, embracing that culture, being a man of the people, absolutely opening your arms to the city, and kind of just like I said about Drew Holiday last night. You're a Boston Celtic forever. You'll never be forgotten on this team. And you always have a special place in our hearts. Same with Drew Holiday. Same with pretty much any of these guys who were a part of this team last year. That was part of this historic year, that an experience that I know for sure that I will never forget, because I was there throughout the entire playoffs. I was there for 12 regular season games. Went to go back to Madison Square Garden where you started your career, Kristaps. Seeing them boo you and then you basically shutting them the hell up, that was unbelievable as well. But I think the biggest memory that I will ever have was my interaction with Kristaps Porzingis at that meet and greet, and then Game 1 of the NBA Finals. I think those are the two that I look at and I will say that's Kristaps Porzingis' time here in Boston. Those two memories right there, just embracing the goal to get banner 18, and then also being there on the court for your team no matter what. Especially that Game 5 too. I forgot about that off the top of my head. Again, I'm just kind of going on a blur right now as I am just chilling in the pool right now in 100-degree weather pretty much here. Game 5, he had that injury where he probably should not have played, but he was like, not missing this moment for the world. I'm going to be on the court. I'm going to die out there on the court. Just really showing what it means to be a team player. Kind of like what Tyrese Halliburton did a couple nights ago. He was having problems with his calf on his right side, and then next thing you know, he tears his Achilles. Like, when you get to that moment, you do whatever it takes to get yourself a banner. And Kristaps Porzingis, even though he really didn't play much in that Game 5, he was a big part of that championship run last year with the Celtics team. And Game 1 was unbelievable. I will never forget that performance from Kristaps Porzingis. Being there in the building, too, and just seeing him go absolutely ballistic in that game. So, don't really have much to talk about on this trade here, because obviously this was more of a salary dump trade than it was getting an actual piece in return, like last night with Drew for Anthony Simons. Kind of interesting to see what they're going to do with Simons now. It looks like they're going to keep him. It looks like they're going to keep Anthony Simons, but we'll have to wait and see on some moves. JB, you're our guy next year. You're our guy. And I totally trust you 100%. I still think this team can make a playoffs. I still think they can make a playoffs next year. And I really think that this team right here, not going to say they're going to be a sleeper, but like they can definitely win a series next year. I think they can definitely win a series, maybe make the second round interesting, because the Eastern Conference next year is going to be weak. Orlando's going to be good. Knicks, I think they're going to be all right too. Pacers just lost Halliburton. The Bucks are cooked. Sorry, Unger, but I think Cleveland's a bunch of choke artists. I think the East next year is as wide open as it's ever been. So I think the Celtics can definitely make, shouldn't say a deep run, but like they can definitely do something in the playoffs next year. Like I said, I can definitely see that team winning a series next year. I can definitely see that team winning the series next year. Not saying how they construct it right now. They still got a little bit of work to do, obviously, but go out there and win a series next year. That's all I really care about. Next year is not really a year where we have high expectations. You guys hanging a banner next year. We get it. Tatum's down, a top 5 player in the league. He's down. We're going to be out Jason Tatum for most of next season, if not all of next season. Totally get that. So my expectations next year are not a championship. I just want to see a culture. I just want to see a culture built. I want to see some growth, especially in Anthony Simons. I would like to see him get better on the defensive end if he does stick around. Next year's a retool year. And then we revisit the championship window the year after that when Tatum is 100% healthy and ready to go. So that's my expectation. That's the video. What do you guys think in the comment section down below? What do you guys think about Kristaps Porzingis being traded to the Atlanta Hawks? And what do you guys think about the Celtics finally getting under the second apron? Are you guys shocked that it was this early? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of shocked that they were able to get under the second apron and now. I thought it was going to take them maybe after the draft. But shout out to Brooklyn. Brooklyn helped us out once again, so appreciate Brooklyn as always. That's why we went to go visit them this year, to personally thank them, because they're from New York, but like clearly they have our backs though. So appreciate the Nets. And kind of excited to see what this Celtics team is going to do next year. Again, the 2 guys that were like a given gone are now gone. So, and we're under the second apron. Now it gets interesting. What this Celtics team is going to do. So leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe now if you guys new. You guys know what to do. Till next time, it's been your boy Jesse. And we'll see you in the next video. I'll have a couple of videos coming out for you guys soon on both trades. Damn, I have to rewrite an article now. That's just great. See you later, though, guys.